A police convoy with blacked-out windows arriving at the West Kowloon courts, carrying one of China's most vocal critics ahead of a long-awaited verdict in his national security case. Jimmy Lai has been detained since 2020. The trial didn't begin until late 2023 and has faced several delays. Concern has been growing among his supporters about his deteriorating health as the case has dragged on.
If a 78-year-old is kept in solitary confinement and detained for years and can't have a normal life, well, I've spent 7 months in prison. It's a very bad experience.
Among those attending the hearing today was his wife as well as one of his sons. The court found Lai guilty on both charges of colluding with foreign forces as well as one charge of sedition. Judges say his testimony was contradictory, inconsistent and unreliable, and that it was clear Lai harbored hatred for China. Before the verdict, one of the judges said there was no doubt that Lai intended to bring about the downfall of the Chinese Communist Party and said that he pushed for it despite the ultimate cost of sacrificing the interests of the people of Hong Kong. In a press briefing afterwards, Hong Kong's police chief called his conviction justice served.
The 855-page verdict details his crimes and all the evidence against him.
The case has once again put Hong Kong's rule of law under scrutiny. Critics have decried pressure on judges and say such trials are politically motivated. The court reiterated in a statement Lai's political views and beliefs were not taken into account. Authorities have also hit out at Western governments for demanding Lai's release, accusing them of interference. Reports say US President Donald Trump discussed the case with Chinese leader Xi Jinping when they met earlier this year. Trump has previously said he would do all he can to secure Lai's release.
Jimmy Lai is like one of the top national security targets for China, so I find it difficult to see how that deal can be done, but I would never say never.
Sentencing is expected in January. Lai's lawyers say he won't appeal until after that, but the verdict could see him spend the rest of his years behind bars. Patrick Falk, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
Tom Grundy is the editor-in-chief of the Hong Kong Free Press. He says the verdict further restricts media freedom in Hong Kong.
In one sense, we are able to report on that trial and, bear witness that the courts, the legislature, ask questions of top officials and report the hard news as an independent outlet. But on the other hand, it means that the opinion section for some years now has been considered to be, rather spicy. You have to be careful and selective. And those sensitive topics have expanded to calls for sanctions, calls for independence, interactions with wanted activists. So it's a very difficult, complicated, I think, situation for the local media, but there are still some independent voices like ours still around. Some journalists in mainland China sympathize with that situation here because it can often be a little more clear, over the border. The Apple Daily, as much as it was, a colourful, grubby tabloid and quite sensational, it did also do, investigative journalism. But it didn't do the sort of, we don't do the sort of advocacy journalism that it evolves to do in terms of it very much siding with the opposition movement, printing protest posters. I mean, nevertheless, what has been coming up in court are matters of speech, I guess. There's 156 op-eds they looked at, interviews, online shows, his interactions with outside groups. Some of it was before the security law came in, but Security Judge Esther To, handpicked by the authorities, said that you can't do any of this with nefarious means.
Don't miss out, get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.